We recently have had the social media revolution explode in this world, and it is a communication revolution unlike anything that the world has ever seen before. We have not even studied it yet. We don't even have statistical data to figure out what is this doing to our minds. What is this doing to our insides? But I will say this, there seems to be a correlation between the inner anxiety, the high depression rates, and the high levels of suicide that have risen with the amount of social media use that this world has found itself in. And I want to even take it a step beyond social media into the world of constant connectivity. We live in a world where there is no such thing as turning off. And that's scary because in Genesis chapter 1, the first thing that God shows is 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. The model that God sets forth is to have a Sabbath day, a day where you turn off, where you don't work, where you begin to rest your mind, your body, and your soul. But we live now in a world that has gotten to the fastest pace that humanity has ever seen. This social media revolution, communication revolution, is more incredible than the Gutenberg press. It's more incredible than even the Industrial Revolution. And the problem we have is there's no ability to disconnect your life from the outside. There's no ability to find rest for a weary soul, have a Sabbath rest. You are constantly in a state of distraction. We talked earlier about avoidance. Avoidance is easier than ever because you can avoid reality from something that's in your pocket at a moment's notice forever. We have no ability to rest within reality. We've got no ability to stay in a moment. And listen, you were not designed to have that level of distraction, that level of communication, that level of connectivity, that level of responsibility. Have you ever not texted someone back for a whole day? What about you crazy people that leave read receipts on your phone? That's a lot of responsibility. What I'm saying is we are under crushing pressure to constantly communicate, respond, perform, and we were not designed to operate this way. And so it's slowly crushing us from the outside in, and it is a pattern of this world that I think Christians have to think about very seriously. You have to consider the changing realities that you're just growing up in. The millennials grew up with social media and no one even knows what it is. And yet now we're finding that the millennials have relationship problems, commitment problems, they have anxiety problems, they've got emotional problems, and it's coming from somewhere we don't know where. I would propose that the lifestyle of constant communication is a pattern that might be creating emotional turmoil on the inside of you. You are not designed to live in this state of comparison all the time. Because that's what these apps are. This is what the social media is it creates in you the need to compare your life to their life, your car to their car, your achievements to their achievements, your looks to their looks. And you're gonna be let down. There is a problem with comparison and a need to show perfection, even though you might be broken on the inside. One of the difficulties with this is that the likes, they're addictive. They're addictive. And this creates a comparison cycle in your life where you have to constantly be connected, constantly be living a certain way, constantly be putting something out there to constantly get that dopamine hit, that dopamine hit, that dopamine hit. Many of you are looking for 200 dopamine hits a day, 400, 3,000 dopamine hits a day, and you were not created to operate on this level of likes. Might I use a different word for likes? Praise. You were not designed to receive this much praise because that turns you into your own savior. Many of you are literally stuck in a state of being a selfie savior. You have to save yourself because you have elevated yourself above God or at least to the place of God, which was the very first sin of Lucifer, which he said, I'm gonna become like the Most High. And you say, I don't do that. Well, if you are obsessed with people's opinion of you and you're chasing after their affirmation, that and receiving their praise, that's the place of God. And so you might unknowingly be putting yourself by your patterns in a place that of course you're gonna fail because you were not designed to operate like this. You were designed to take the glory that God deserves and quickly give it up to Him because you can't handle it on the inside.